All right. Now, Tammy, I'm going to make you host. Hello, everyone. Put that off. All right. Okay. Hello, you guys. Man, is it good to be back, let me tell you. It was an interesting vacation, if you can call it a vacation. But I did what I set out to do, and I was able to put my dad's ashes with my grandparents. And then the entire experience, though, let me tell you, when I got to my hometown where I'm from, I got sicker than I have been in a very long time. It was a nasal sickness, like a very wet, like sinus infection of some sort. I had my youngest son with me. He was 10. We were both completely laid up in a hotel room for 3 days, just trying to breathe, correct, like being able to breathe. It was intense. And then we finally made it to the graveyard. And when we got back to the hotel room, I was typing to a friend of mine that we had placed his ashes, and we heard a very soft on the door. So we were standing right in front of it, like it's a hotel room, right? So my son goes and opens the door, and I'm standing right behind him, and there's nobody there. We looked up and down the hall. We were in the middle of a long hall. There's nowhere for anyone to go. Those big hotel doors slammed shut, and we could see they were all closed. It was trippy. It was an interesting last month, let me tell you. So, and as well, there's a reason that I'm telling you guys this. As well, I got to see a lot of family members and a lot of people around the country that are, man, I've been here in my little bubble for a while, you guys, and people are struggling. There's a lot of people out there that are really, really, really struggling with the changes that are going on in the world. And I've seen a lot of people that have chosen addiction, or I shouldn't say chosen, have succumbed to addiction, because it's one of those things that, you go looking for help for pain for something, and it kind of sneaks up on you, and next thing you know, it's got control of you, right? And I'll tell you something, I learned something very, very important on this trip, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it kind of created an epiphany within me. And I know what to do now as far as my center goes and all of that goes. So what I realized was that a lot of us have legitimate pain in our lives. And therefore, we make choices and decisions in our everyday lives to cope with these pains, right? And a lot of those choices and decisions that we make to cope with these pains, whether it be food or drugs or alcohol or people or whatever it may be, they control us. And if they have control over us, then we don't have control over ourselves. And that leads to a very powerless and scary, terrifying feeling. It feels like the whole world has control over you. Everybody else is making the decisions for you. You have no say over anything. And so therefore, that's why I drink, or that's why I eat, or whatever that might be, right? But it's actually quite the opposite. It's actually quite the opposite. It's when you take responsibility for those actions, then you take the steering wheel back and you get to decide where you drive your car to. If you're in the passenger seat and all this is happening to you, then it's really easy to get filled up with resentment and anger about which direction we're heading in, right? But when you can understand that our individual decisions every single day to cope with this legitimate pain, if they are not healthy choices to cope with this pain, then it's going to lead you down more hell and more hell and more hell. And it's a never-ending cycle. The sooner that we can accept responsibility for our coping mechanisms and our choices and decisions in our day-to-day lives, the sooner we will be able to grab hold of the wheel of the car and navigate ourselves out of whatever challenge it is that we are in at that moment. But if you're too busy blaming your boss or your ex or, the government or whatever it is right now going on in your life as the reason for your problem, then you're never going to take responsibility and guide yourself out. And the only way out is with personal responsibility. The thing is that when you take hold of the wheel, most people are like, well, I did that. I tried to get control of my life and I wasn't in instant happiness. Well, no, sometimes you've driven yourself so far into the town of hell that it's a 2 mile drive back. So you have to be willing to hold on to that wheel and not let go until you see daylight. Guys, the world is changing. There's a lot of big changes coming up in the world. And a lot of people, I heard some of the strangest comments in my travels. I heard, I mean, I was telling family members that I know at least half a dozen people who have died, literally died from the I know people that have been paralyzed and having more pain and issues and traumas from that than anything else. And when I told somebody that, she's like, but we always did it. It's been around. We've been doing these things since, as long as we've all been alive. So it must be good, right? And if you have that kind of thinking that just because you've been doing something for a long time that it's good and that you have to keep doing it that way and you're living in hell, then you're going to live in hell for the rest of your life. We got to wake up and learn new ways to do things. And if that means that you have to quit a job or you have to stay away from a family member or somebody else that's bringing you down, then trust me, that's what you need to do. Ask God for help to guide you through that. Because if you don't, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. I saw so many people in fear and just absolute chaos and dysfunction because of what has happened in this world over the last year and a half. And it just absolutely broke my heart. And so all the way home, I started asking myself, okay, so how have I been doing this as well in my own life? I've had a lot of chaos and stuff. I wouldn't quite say dysfunction, but a lot of chaos going on, especially around the center. Some of you know I was taken advantage of by somebody in that process, and they really made a mess of my paperwork. And it was a huge giant learning lesson for me. So now I'm like hesitant on going forward with that. And I've been feeling extraordinarily stressed with the paperwork and the details of it all, right? And it finally hit me on the way home. I've been making it way too complicated. I've been promising everybody my center because now that the mask mandates are lifted, we can have our groups again, which is awesome. But I can't use the place that I was using to host them before because I found out too much information about the people who run that hall. So I can't go there anymore. And I spent a good day going, where am I going to do them? Where am I going to do them? Where am I going to do them? And it hit me. I moved in February, as a lot of you guys know. This house, we haven't even started to use the basement yet. It's just a great big, huge open room with like boxes in it. That's it. And it hit me. My center is my house. It's right here. It's been here under my nose the entire time. All I have to do is clean out the basement, throw in some carpet and some chairs and a little bit of decoration. Voila! I can fit 30 people down there. We have my center. That means that not only can I start doing in-person groups again, but we are going to do open mic night again. That's happening, or I shouldn't say again, but for the first time, I've been promising you guys open mic night where you guys can come and practice and develop your abilities, practicing on each other. And we're going to do, this is something else going to be able to offer now, is not yet. I need a couple more weeks because we got to get a stainless steel sink in there, but then we're going to be offering, get a reading and a Reiki infused facial. My friend Linda is an esthetician and a Reiki master. So she's going to, once we get the basement transformed, you guys will be able to book a reading and then go downstairs and get a facial and a Reiki facial, whatever you call it, Reiki infused facial. We'll have packages so you can bring a friend as well. So exciting. So watch in the next couple of weeks here for the announcements for the end of this month, because the end of this month will be the first, for sure, Afternoon with Spirit. And then watch for the announcements coming up. I know some ladies who do a wine and gem show. So what they do is they come to the house and they show you all the different gemstones and what they do, and they educate you and all of them. You have some wine and some snacks, and it's going to be so awesome. My center's been here the whole time. I was so caught up in the stress of it that I didn't even acknowledge that. So I didn't even see it until now. until like I said, long journey. So to make a long story short, for all of you guys, I highly recommend that if you've been in anything, and a lot of people are right now, in a long process of either trying to get something started, trying to get something changed, some people are going to school, some people are trying to upgrade to a different job, some people, whatever these changes are that you're wanting to make, and you're feeling really, step outside of that for a bit. Go somewhere, do something, take your mind off of it. Go get out in the world, see other people that are a little bit less fortunate than you. And let me tell you, it helps to get your priorities in check real quick. There's so much goodness. The biggest thing that I learned on this trip is that God is real. I knew that already, but he's more real than I could have ever dreamed. And all you have to do is focus on what you want and take responsibility for the choices and decisions that are here now, and just don't give up. Don't let go of that steering wheel for nobody's business, and ask for help at every single stage. That's the part where people get tripped up. They're like, well, I prayed last week. You have to pray every day and about every single little thing, and it will come to you. That's how we direct ourselves forward: thought, word, and action. Okay, spiel done. So check my website later this week, and you will be able to find the rates and stuff for the reading and Reiki infused facials. And yeah, let's dig into some reading. I got to put my glasses on for a few minutes because I can't see nothing, just so you know. And I got to see who's here. There we go. Hello. There's so many of you here. That's awesome. Okay, Holly, I got to go to you because your dad is killing me. I can hear Daddy's hand so loud in my head, it's not even funny. And and I'm feeling nauseous. And so I'm guessing that's you because I do know your situation right now.
Probably, yeah.
Has this gotten bad? Like, it's not so much the nausea as the heartburn, correct?
No, it's the nausea.
Oh, it's hurting my esophagus.
If I eat spicy food, I can't, like, my esophagus completely burns, but that was once.
Feel it already. And the interesting thing, we're going to do this connection exercise real quick here, but I can feel your dad's amusement of the whole thing. He's like, you're going to get the whole experience. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, both feet flat on the floor. I want you to close your eyes, and then I want you to take a deep breath. Picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. So I just saw some flashes of doing a little bit of shopping. I felt the headache, I got to be honest with you. I don't know if this is from you or if this is from somebody that is stepping forward, because I'll be honest, I feel like there's somebody back here that I haven't talked to before that maybe passed. I don't know what this is. Did somebody pass recently in your world?
Not that I'm aware of.
Interesting. There is absolutely a younger soul coming in around you that I'm not used to. I've been reading for you for a couple of years. I don't think this person has stepped forward, but they feel to the side. So I don't know if that's coming forward to the side of your husband or your fiance, I should say, or if that's to the side of you. But there's somebody stepping forward that passed before we would think of as their time.
I had a younger brother. Well, technically, he was older than me, but he passed away before I was born. He's come
Oh,
through once or twice, but very infrequently.
okay. That would make, I got shivers. Interesting. You know why? Oh, it's because of the baby. They're all watching around the baby. I feel like they're saying it's a boy, it's a boy, it's a boy, it's a boy, it's a boy. And normally I would like be very hesitant. And please take that with a grain of salt. But there's something about being a boy or something about a boy. Hold on. Would that boy have been the only boy?
Him, no, there's several other boys within the family, but we don't know the sex yet. We won't know until September.
Hmm. Well, I'm just gonna leave that there.
My fiance keeps thinking it's a boy, so
Maybe that could be what I'm picking up, because you got to understand that they will show me things to validate that they're with you, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys are all talking about it's a boy, it's a boy, it's a boy, then your dad will be saying that to me, not necessarily because it is a boy, but because that's what you're saying, and he
Yeah,
wants to validate that he's there. Does that make sense?
absolutely.
I can absolutely hear that conversation.
It's a daily occurrence.
Oh, he just needs you to know that he's not missing a thing, hun. He's showing me the little details. He's loving watching every little detail. And it's like, okay, finally, I can feel the it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? We wanted this for so long, but it sure doesn't feel the way what we thought it was going to feel. It feels like somebody took over our body.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
He's
I
like,
think
well, we get a little more time off. Don't worry about it. So you had to, did this cause you to have to take a little extra time off work or something? Because he's showing me work and time off.
no, I was already off. But my work offers 90 days off and then a mat leave. So I might take that earlier because I'm not comfortable really driving in the dead of winter. So
I think that's what he's talking about. More time off is what he's saying.
mhm.
And did you just get a pool or go swimming? Because I'm seeing like baby bump in a bathing suit.
No.
He's like, it's cute. It's funny because when you said, no, I can feel your like, that ain't happening, lady. And I think he's trying to make you feel comfortable that the weight gain is normal. You know what I mean?
Oh, I haven't really gained, and actually, I've lost weight due to all the sickness. So, I'm comfortable with my body now.
He's giving you a bathing suit. Did you? I feel like if you haven't just planned something, then there's something coming up because he's like, there's a plate. You need this. I see the whole outfit. Like, we'll make a shopping day of it, is what I heard. The grandmother behind him, I think his mother is on the other side as well, correct?
Yes.
Because she's like, we'll make a day of it. And I'm seeing like the bathing suit wrap and the bathing suit and the cute little baby bump. And I feel like you need to go. There's an encouragement to go, 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 go. I don't know. You haven't been invited to anything like that? A barbecue, something like that?
No, not really. We live in a lake community, so I mean we do have access to the lake. We just at this point in time, I didn't want to go out due to the severe heat and the smoke. It was really bothering me.
I think they're wanting to show you I literally saw the smoke clearing out. She's like, instead of, you hear me talk all the time, and especially in the beginning, about ask for what you want, right? Don't focus on
Yeah.
what you don't want.
Yeah.
So you're making choices and decisions based on what you don't want right now. And you can change that. You can't stop the smoke, of course, right?
Yeah.
Wind is going to blow and there is going to be smoke. But you can say to your loved ones and to God things like, show me an opportunity to go to the beach or to get out and do these kinds of things that I need to do where there is no smoke and it's clear. And the universe will conspire to line up exactly the way you need it to. I promise you it will. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. At my bank, you need to make an appointment to go in and open up an account, right? You don't just
Yeah.
walk in off the street and say, I want to open an account, talk to somebody and open it up. That's not how it works, right? You have to make an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize that. So I took my son in, my 18-year-old, yesterday to open up his first bank account. And they tell us this and they go, but oh, wait a minute, I see the girl. Lucky for you, she's available right now. So even though they don't normally do that, and it would be normally impossible for that to happen, the universe, when I put my intention and say, okay, we're going to open you an account, and he's like, yes, we're opening an account, thought, word, action to do that. And guess what happens? He opened the account. I think what they're saying, I think I understand what their message for you is right now, is that don't let this pregnancy, honey, pregnancy is 9 months. Those 9 months, when you're not pregnant, 9 months doesn't seem like a long time. When you are pregnant, 9 months can feel like 9 years. So I think what he's saying is to keep doing the things that will make you feel alive and make you feel not restricted. Do you know what I mean? There's so many restrictions when you're pregnant already. Go to the beach,
Yeah.
have fun, go out with your friends. Just ask them to clear the way for you first. Ask them to take you to a place that's less smoky, or ask them to blow the wind in a different direction, whatever it might be. Just ask them to make it happen and watch the events conspire around you to make it happen. Because I promise you, it's magic when you're sitting there and every single little thing synchronizes to get out of your way. It's kind of like, have you seen that meme of, you know who Mr. Bean is?
Yes.
And have you seen that? It's not a meme, it's like a video or something, a short little video where he's like walking off like through a whole bunch of traffic and stuff and cars and like one after the other and everything just lines up for him perfect wherever he walks. It's kind of like that. Your dad wants you to know that he's a part of this with you and that he's not missing anything. And he's like, let me help you. So Sam, your boyfriend's got facial hair, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because he's given him a razor. I think he's done this before. It sounds familiar. But it feels like in a teasing way. And then I'm seeing the talks. Are you guys still planning for a wedding right now as well?
Yeah, we're gonna be getting married next year.
Did you just do something as far as wedding plans? Because he's showing me like wedding plans and getting that ball rolling.
Um, we did bridesmaid shopping a couple weeks ago, and I confirmed what I wanted for that. And then we talked to the venue, and they've basically reserved everything for us. So
location. Put it down. So they really are not saying a huge amount other than that everything feels normal, that he's validating that he knows, like, I think that's why he's telling you to get out and put the bathing suit on and go swimming, go out with your friends, because I think you're kind of shutting yourself in a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah, I've just been so tired. I have no energy right now.
I know, but here's the thing, sweetie. Inertia creates inertia, right? When you're feeling that way, if you allow yourself to just stay home and rest all the time, then you're never going to feel more energy. So I'm not saying go out and party every day, but I would require yourself to do a little piece of exercise, like even just going for a 10-minute walk or something in the sunshine, because I promise you, it will make you feel so much better at the end of the day. I promise you. And any other mom who's pregnant, who's ever had a baby on here can vouch for me. Slow this down. I keep hearing happy birthday as well. Who's got the birthday that's coming up? I'm seeing like September, October.
My grandmother who passed away, her birthday was September 1st.
So I knew she was here. She just is like, you're going to say this is for me as well. She's the one that's shopping with you, just so you know. She's like, we got so many more shopping days coming up. Because you said you went shopping for brides dresses though, right? Or bridesmaids dresses?
Yes.
I feel like that's not done. There's still more to come. Like, I don't feel like we were successful enormously. Did you get everything you needed?
I have, yep.
I don't know. Oh, it's the fittings, maybe. All I'm telling you is that she's showing me that we have way more work to do as far as the dressing everybody comes in. Okay, I'm not in your life, and I don't know what she's talking about, and wedding stuff is not my specialty. There's something coming up this month. Within the next month or so, it's shopping or around people, like around wedding or outfits or something like this. It could be the fittings. I don't know what that is, but something to do with the dresses.
I have no idea. The only thing would be shopping for my mother-in-law's dress, but we haven't even decided that yet, so I don't know.
That's what you haven't got yet?
Correct.
All right. So that's got to be the one she's talking about then, because I'm very certain, like you know me long enough to know that they don't change the signs or symbols, but how I understand them changes depending on how you validate. And she's being very specific about a dress and lining you up with the perfect one. Did you look for your mother-in-law that day?
No, she wasn't there.
Your grandma's on it for that one. I don't know why. She's on it. Is there, I feel like there's a question before I pull it back, and I can't quite understand. It's like an itch I can't scratch. I don't know what it is.
Like a question from me?
Yes.
The only question I have, and it's one that I've had for a while, is just anything to do with my fiance and a potential job. That's all. Which they don't give me a whole lot most times, so I just leave it as is.
When you said that, I heard, well, let's meet motivation, huh? So, not that he's not trying to look for a job or anything, but
I think in the past like 2 months, he's applied to like 150 jobs, probably. As soon as we found out we were pregnant, he's been on it. He's motivated, but he's getting frustrated because he's had interviews and he's not getting anything.
so in that situation, I got to tell you, the energy feels no worries. Like I literally hear that song, "Don't Worry About a Thing." What is that? "Every Little Thing Is Going to Be All Right" by Bob Marley. That's the song I'm hearing in my head. And I got to be honest, when you see stuff like that happening where it feels abnormal, like it's abnormal to apply for that many jobs and not even get a call back, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's abnormal. So that is usually synchronicity and cooperative incidences putting you in exactly the right spot at exactly the right time. And it feels a lot to me kind of like my center. I wanted it up back in, the beginning of July. I wanted it months ago, and we almost had it, so many times, and it was like so many almost that wasn't even funny. And turns out that would have been one of the biggest mistakes of my life, when I can just use my house. Just so much easier. So in a sense, I was being protected so that I would be in the right place at the right time to do what I'm meant to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's got to change the vibration around it. Do you remember when you were trying to get pregnant and you kept pushing it away because you were getting a little bit, watched my mouth right there. I'm very proud of myself. You were getting a little bit tense with the whole situation, feeling like it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And the more you focused on it, the worse it felt, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to feel grateful for the job that he's getting. And he's got to envision himself, when he goes to bed, tell himself to envision himself working at the job that he loves. I have a feeling that when he goes to bed at night, he's seeing those rejections over and over and over in his head when he goes to sleep. And that's literally a brain hack. Whatever you visualize when you fall asleep, I just posted something about this actually. If you visualize it, it creates in your world. It's a life hack. So he needs to practice his consciousness a little more, and the vibration will change. Put his focus on something else and watch, not put his focus like stop applying for jobs, but just change the way he feels about it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take the desperation out of it and look at the protection in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is fine, I promise you. But the only thing is that your loved ones really want to be more interactive in your life. A lot of times people have trouble feeling their loved ones around them, right? But they forget to ask for them to show up. They forget to ask them to help synchronize and coordinate events. Because when they do that, we feel their presence. He's pulling his energy back. I hope that was helpful, hon.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a great rest of your month.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to try to it's funny, as I was disconnecting, I got this wave of nausea just float up. That's probably because I remember that feeling all too well. All right. Okay. Andrea, I got to go to you because it's too chaotic. I'm going to make it a little bit. I'm not going to see, I can't even get the words out. They're so in my head. I remember. Okay, so let's do this. I can't even talk. Wow. Give me a second. Let's do this connection exercise, and then I will give you a rundown of what I'm picking up, all right? Both feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, pulling it all the way up through your body and blow it straight towards me, and then give me a minute to focus. Wow. Isn't it interesting, I have to say right now, because you are following Holly, who we just read. And I remember that when I was in Ontario, you had texted me that there was an accident. And I don't remember what you said. Oh, yes, I do now. As I'm tapping into your energy, I remember exactly. There was an accident with your husband. And because of that accident with your husband, you were able to find a medical issue that kind of needed to be exposed so that you could take care of it. And if that accident did not happen, then that issue would not have been exposed and it could have killed him. And it's interesting. This is what I say. Isn't this interesting that you are following Holly? Because what was I just saying to her about her husband? That sometimes we get protected in ways that don't look like protection, right? Sometimes we think that what is actual protection is destruction or pain or a negative experience, but actually it's protection. He's going to do okay. I promise you. The dead do not intervene like that unless they can stop it. Why would they intervene like that if he was going to die anyway? You know what I mean? I feel like he is going to be okay. And I see actually what I just heard. So you've got a couple of women behind you talking like this really, really fast. And I can see your daughters over here. So when I say a couple of women, they feel like mother figures. And then I see your daughters here, and there's a father figure behind them. And I don't remember who all your people are. They're talking at me so fast, it's not even funny. But they're all making me feel like they helped to coordinate this incident in a sense. Throw this down. And what they showed me was like 2 weeks of absolute hell. And then I feel like everything goes much quicker, like much quicker. Everything starts healing much faster. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
It's really interesting because I feel like at least one of your girls maybe hadn't, I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I know that they loved your husband, but I almost feel like one of them maybe was a little bit more head buddy with him, maybe, than the other one was. And she just said, you know what? I love him so much more now that I'm on this side and I can see the big picture on how he helps my mom and he helps my family. So they were there to protect him and watch over him and help to synchronize this so that you could have him for a lot longer of a time. She said it's causing you to kind of look at things that you thought were negative experiences a little bit differently, and maybe that they weren't so negative, maybe they were just redirections. I feel like spirituality, you're starting to get the bigger picture. Do you know what I mean? This experience has helped you to be able to see that bigger picture. Why is she showing me a car? Slow this down. So I don't know if this is about your husband, to be honest with you, but I feel like somebody just got a new car or is getting a new car. And I'm pretty sure this is your girls that are in my ear here because they're kind of talking at the same time. And they're showing me the car. And it's funny when I said that, somebody outside goes, beep, beep. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, we're not we're not looking for a new car.
I think
at the moment.
I think you have a son. Does she have like a couple of brothers? Do your girls have a couple of brothers? Do you have a couple of sons? I feel like one
Yep.
of them is getting a new car or just got a new car or there's something around him with a car.
Okay.
She's like, leave it to us. We can do this. If we can coordinate that, we can coordinate a freaking car. That freaking. Used to being at my friend's house. Her 5-year-old or 7-year-old billed me $20 for every time I said freaking. My gosh, I was broke by the time I left. But does your son need a car? She's being very insistent to the brother, giving him a car, talking about coordinating. Well, it could be a truck or something that needs to be used for work. So I don't know if this is traveling to and from work or if this is we need a special vehicle for work. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, it's possible. My one son could need a truck for, he works on a ranch, so he could need a truck for work.
And when you said that, I see this, which is my symbol for struggle or challenge in a relationship. Have you and your son been at odds a little bit?
Not the one that's possibly getting a new vehicle, but my other son, yes.
Hmm. You know what they just showed me? Baby steps, and everything happens in exactly its own time. And I see the situation with your husband happening, which softens people's hearts in a sense and makes people step up to want to help a little bit. I know she's talking about the one son that's getting the new truck, and I see this again. Um, Coming together after a challenging time. And when you say it's not him that you're at discord with, it's the other one. What I saw was you and him coming together, and then bringing the other one in as well. I think their big point to you is the same point that they had with Holly, and the same point I think that they made with me on my way home, is that we are not alone here, and we have to remember that our loved ones are not gone. They are still here, and that we need to ask for what we want and stop talking about things as the way we don't want them. So don't talk about and think about your relationship with your son as being challenged right now. Talk about and think about it as, I am going to make it this, and we are moving into this type of relationship. And you know what I mean? This is what I want. Help me with this. This is the way I want specifically. Help me make that possible. And if you can keep asking them, they will help you. You just gotta remember, when it looks like it's a train wreck at first, remember that God operates in mysterious ways. And sometimes an accident can be the biggest blessing that you've ever had. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
She's like, we're not gone, Mom. We're not gone.
I know.
She said that you keep seeing the butterflies.
Yes.
I'm seeing tons of them. They've been making a point to send even more than they usually do, so that you will feel their presence.
I do see them, and I said to when I see them, I know it's them. And I pointed that out to my husband.
So they know that, because they're pointing it out to me. And they're just, I'm hearing that song again, that Bob Marley song. They just want you to know that it's going to get better from here. That he's going to get well. He's not going anywhere. I don't feel him leaving this earth plane anytime soon. He is going to get better now that you've been able to diagnose this. And it is just so lucky that accident happened. So lucky, because they're making me feel like if that didn't happen, it could have been like this and he would have been gone.
Yeah, we haven't actually had it diagnosed yet. He has to wait 3 months, but the doctor reassured us that things aren't going to change that drastically in 3 months, that we have to worry about it right now.
And that's probably, remember right at the beginning, your daughters were like, it's going to take, I said 2 weeks, but it could be months, like a couple of months, 2-3 months before. Well, it would be 2 months from now, right? Because it's already been almost a month now. So within 2 months of slow healing, and then heal, everything goes way faster after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're pulling their energy back, hon. Well, they are and they're not. they do this to me often. As they pull it back, your little one is starting, like, you have one in like grade 1 or 2, don't you?
Going into grade 1.
What I thought, because she's getting him all dressed up and stuff. Like, we're picking out his first day outfit or something like that. They're like dressing him to the nines, like with a little, what are those called, fedora or?
Oh yeah,
little hats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Please know that they're there with you, and they think that you're doing an amazing job, and they're just really happy that you were able to very quickly recognize the blessing in this, and it's helping you to change the way that you're looking at every situation going on in your life now. They're pulling their energy back, hon. I hope that was helpful.
Thanks, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Mandy, I'm coming to you. Because your energy, I need your energy right now. Because your energy, I got to tell you, is like pumped up. It is so excited and happy right now. I don't know. It feels like all I feel is success, success, success. You understand that? Have things been going pretty good over there?
No.
Wow. Isn't that funny? Okay, so you just come on after we just did all of that, talking about how sometimes things happen that don't look good because to bring in the good, right? To put you in the right place at the right time. And then I feel success all over you, and you're like, no. Huh. So whatever is going on right now is happening to bring you to success. Hold on. Let's do that connecting exercise and then get into it because that's interesting. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Close your eyes and then take a deep breath. Picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Interesting. Okay. So right away, I see that angel that comes through every time that I talk to you. I'm going to keep my eyes closed for a minute. Slow that down. I can feel finances all around me, which gives me like nausea in itself, thinking about money. And I see this up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But I don't know if that's actual finances or if that's thought of finances. Do you know what I mean? Worry is what I'm talking. But I still feel like you have been positioned. They show me chess pieces. Like you needed to experience this and this and this and be here in order to be in the right place for when this happens. Did you just move apartments as well? Like I know that you moved to another country about a month ago, but did you move apartments or something like this as well?
I know. Since I got here, I've been in the same place.
Are you not happy there or something? Because they're showing me another place.
I mean, it's a temporary Airbnb. I'm just kind of making sure I have enough money before I move.
That's why, see, I don't know what's going on in your life. They're like, we talk about the move over here. We're moving, talk about over here. Okay.
When am I moving?
Yeah. It literally feels like chess, to be honest with you. It feels like you're in a position. Have you ever played chess?
I love chess.
Okay. So you know how if you're like, I don't know the names, you're going to laugh at me, but I know what each piece does, right? So the little diagonally one, whatever.
Bishop.
There we go. So you know how the bishop can only move certain ways, right? And if somebody's blocking you off from those ways, you can't move. You're stuck where you are. You can't move, right? That's how I feel you right now. It's not that you're going to be stuck forever. It's that there's certain things that are kind of blocking you from being able to move forward yet, right? Like yet. That word's very important. It came out of my mouth. I heard it before I thought it. So I think they're telling you to just hold off, but this feels more expensive than you want it to be. Slow this down. Are you moving in with somebody else? Because I felt like that's a thought or an inspiration was to bring somebody else in with you.
No.
Do you have family where you are, son?
No.
I feel like a sister, somebody who's like a sister, somebody to the side, a really good friend, or somebody that is like a sister or a family member. Do you have somebody there that is like a female friend that you know really well?
No.
That is really
I
close
mean,
to you?
no, like I know a couple of girls, but like I don't even know their last names.
That's not close. My sister from another mister. Never heard that one before. So just keep those in the back of your mind. They just changed the subject on me. So I think there's somebody coming into your world as far as female people go that's going to become very close to you because I was extremely loud and they're not giving me any more details. They just switched to the finance thing. Now they'll only show me so much because we are in a public forum here. But again, I feel like you're not in as bad a position as you think you are. I think that you've taken steps to kind of protect yourself here, if you know what I mean, and
Mhm.
that you're safe where you are. It's kind of like when the rook is there. Is that what it was called, the rook? When it's there, it might not be able to move forward, but it's not really at danger of anybody else killing it. You know what I mean? It's just
Mhm.
a little bit stuck there for the moment. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You're supposed to be there for the change or the rollover, but it also feels like you're around somebody who's going to be like family to you. And I can feel the loneliness. That's interesting. Um, are you more lonely there than you expected to be?
Yeah, because I don't want to spend money, so I don't go out. I'm like kind of, I've isolated myself because, you know, if friends are going to be like, oh, you want to go and do something, it's like, oh, there's $200, there's $200, there's $200, you know. So it's like I just kind of am like hiding.
Yeah, see, you need to stop doing that because that you're making choices and decisions based on fears, right? And based on like that negative vibration. So if you can go out and be with people and not spend money at the same time, that changes the vibration, right? You can spend like go get a coffee or something like that. And if they want to do something way expensive, then you don't do it, right? But you can still get out of the house and do things like that without having to spend money. And I think that if you can still do those things and shutting them down and staying in the house is going to isolate you and make you feel extraordinarily lonely. And then when you're feeling isolated and lonely, you make choices and decisions based on feeling isolated and lonely. And those choices and decisions based on feeling isolated and lonely don't usually lead to a happy place. We don't get on the road to lonely and end up in happy town. Do you know what I mean? So it's extraordinarily important to, before you make any decision, and I think this is what they're getting at here, is that before you make any decision about where you need to go, you need to figure out what you need to keep yourself happy, to keep yourself so you're not lonely. Do you know what I mean? Because your vibration determines your choices and decisions, and your choices and decisions determine your destination. So I feel success all around you, but your internal energy is not absorbing that success or perceiving that success because of what you're telling yourself as far as the finances and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So we're talking a market, right? Because this is like, I think I remember there's something about Bitcoin or something like this stuff that's way over my freaking head, right? Because they're showing me up and down and up and down. And I heard, who can feel secure in that market? Well, here's the thing. If you're always depending on what the market's doing to determine how you feel, then you're never taking control of your own car. You heard my whole thing at the beginning, right? This is where you have to take control of the wheel and take responsibility for how you feel now and make yourself happy. You're a social girl. I don't think you like to admit that to yourself sometimes, but you really are a social person. And I think that's the part of you that you forget needs watering sometimes. And it can honestly be the key that changes everything for you. Because how many times have I told you this? You get what you give or what you are feeling, right? Your thoughts determine your outcome. So if you are baking in stress and uncertainty, that's the word I'm looking for, uncertainty. There's uncertainty around you. Not real damage, not real stress, just uncertainty. And so you've allowed that uncertainty to make your choices and decisions for you. But you've done that before and it's never led to a good place, right? This time you have to take that wheel and go, okay, I'm in charge now. So I'm not going to worry about how much money I have because God's going to replenish my bank account when I need it. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to worry about my heart and just my heart and making sure that I feel satiated and happy as much as I possibly can. Does that make sense? Because I just think, I'll be honest with you, hon, I think you're a little bit out of alignment just because the distort. You've done a lot of, first of all, moving across the world can knock you out of alignment in the culture shock. Everything's so different. Do you know what I mean? That can knock you out of alignment. And then being alone in a different country can knock you out of alignment. So it's extremely important to put yourself back in alignment and then watch the blessings come in, because it's one of those situations where they were coming in all the time before, and then you started getting a little bit nervous, and the market did this again, and you went, oh. But it's kind of like at the bank. You don't have to worry about if they say it's going to go back up, or if, you know what I mean, anything like that. All you have to know is that God's on your team, and that if you go somewhere and spend money, he's going to replace it, and you won't even have to think about it. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's an important month. I'm seeing your dog get a haircut. I know you have your dog with you now. Did he just get a haircut?
Brushing today.
Aw, I can see it. Because they're talking about how cute he looks and he smells. They said he smells good. Specifically, he smells good. Did they do something to him?
And they probably like put some, like a little perfume on them. They didn't wash him today, just a good brushing.
Hmm. Interesting. I can feel how much you love that dog, like a child, like literally like a 3-year-old. That being away from him for 2 weeks was just about cut your soul. Hey, why do they say you made him a bed?
His bed just came from Canada. He had I bought him like a love seat,
Yeah.
and he had it in Toronto, and it's the ugliest love seat. But I'm like, it's his, so I shipped it here for him.
So they know, because
It just came 2 days ago.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
See, so what they're saying to me is accurate. I'm getting the right information. They know what's going on in your world. You're just pinching off your vibration a little bit. Old habits die hard, right? We're used to getting zeroed in and focused on what we want it to be, or what is not going right, I should say, in our world. And then we think about everything that's not going right, instead of thinking about what we want and asking for it and letting it come in.
I have had 4 health things this week. So that's got my energy really challenged, because they're all scary, and I don't know why it's like every other day this week I've gotten something like health related, and I'm like
Did you get this?
I got one. Yeah, I was sick like a dog from that.
So here's the thing. It doesn't just have reactions after you first get it. They can come for up to a year to 2 years later. Almost every person that I know who's gotten that has had some type of health problems since.
Oh yes, there's that. I was sick from that, but I then the next day I ran my wheelchair into the wall and almost broke my foot.
Yeah.
It's bruised in 4 places.
But
It's
of
swollen.
course you did. But of course you did, sweetie. Because this is what I've been trying to tell you for a long time, is that what you are feeling, you are pulling towards you. So if you're feeling weak, disconnected, unstable, uncertain, then you are attracting anything in your world that matches that vibration. So
how do I get out of it?
How you get out of that is by taking your focus off of what is not working and putting your focus onto what is working, or what you do want in your world, and giving gratitude for it. So before I left Calgary, I was feeling really stagnant with everything that was going on, like I said, with the center and taxes and getting all that kind of stuff up. Leaving this situation, going out into the world and seeing how much tougher time everybody else is having, And then coming back, I came back to the exact same situation, but the way that I'm looking at it is an entirely different now. I'm looking at it from a completely different perspective. What you have to do is find a way to be grateful for where you are instead of tense, instead of frustrated, instead of sick, and don't talk about it as much. It's very important to remember that words are energy. So don't talk about being sick and having health problems and stuff like that. Talk about how you're getting better every day, or my mind, there's too much going on in there first. To give you more examples, give me a second. Talk about how you are going to be in exactly the right place at exactly the right time when your ship comes in. Talk about how much stronger and healthier you're feeling every single day. Talk about how grateful you are to be where you are at this exact moment. You know, at one of the lowest parts in my life, the only thing I'll never forget it. The only thing I could find to be grateful for was toilet paper. I was so poor, and we didn't have toilet paper for like a week. I had run out, and we had to use we're going to the 7-Eleven and stealing napkins, and those are rough, and it wasn't cool. And so then I ended up getting a couple rolls of toilet paper, and I was so grateful for that toilet paper, and that gratitude just spilled over, because just like what happened with you with sickness, so when you get in the vibration of being sick or unhealthy or in pain, then you get more of it. So the second that you're grateful, you get more of that. And you will line up with a whole bunch of situations that will make you feel grateful. So yesterday when we went to the bank, not only did we get in to see somebody and my son was able to open his bank account, but the synchronicities just started flowing. So then the lady's like, your name is Benjamin Joseph? We have a Benjamin Joseph here. And you, Tracy Lynn, we have a Tracy Lynn here. And there's this synchronicity and that synchronicity. And then when we left the bank, we went to Walmart and got the best parking spot there ever was. And when we went in, we got the last one of what we were looking for on the shelf. And it was like, once you start getting that flow of focusing on the positive, it flows to you as much as it does in the negative. When that starts happening in your world, that is that big red X that comes down, like when you're playing Mario Kart or a video game and you get going the wrong direction. It's like wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. So when stuff like that starts flaring up in your life, that's a red flag that you need to change your thoughts. So the way I would do that is I would say, okay, for example, if every day that you got up to go to the bathroom, every night, say, when you got up to go to the bathroom, you stubbed your toe on a stool that was there, and you did it every single night, it would be your responsibility to move the stupid stool, right? It's our responsibility to take control of this. So if something isn't working, then you have to control it with this. So what you do is before you go to bed at night, you visualize life going the way that you want it to go. First and foremost, most of us go to bed thinking about all of the things that we are uncertain and scared and worried about. And that just creates them even bigger in our world. Go to bed seeing them solved, like a 5-year-old who uses their imagination. See it being solved. See life going the way that you want it to go. And you will fall asleep feeling the emotions that come from that and wake up in that reality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. And I've been having a hard time with caregivers. I've had like 5 since I got here. Like there hasn't been stability with my care.
Yeah, makes sense. What did they say? Sorry, I gotta stop you right there. They were saying, not she, they, because your dad, your brother, and your angel were all saying that they were bringing somebody in to the side that you were gonna love like family, right? And I'm like, oh, I don't know why they would be saying that. Well, now I do, because you need the caregiver. But the other ones match the stinky vibration you've got going on right now. The uncertain, the unstable, the not feeling secure vibration. They match that vibration, right?
Okay, so will I get like a good person for me for my care soon?
Well, I'll tell you this, there's a good person out there. The perfect person to be able to care for you is out there. But in order to get them to you, you have to thank God for sending them to you. And you have to feel grateful that you know it's just a matter of time until they get to you. And if one shows up that's not the right one, then you go, no, you're not the right one. I know God's sending me the right one and she's coming. And you have to be more focused on the right one coming to you and excited about her coming to you than you are pissed off at the ones that aren't working for you. Does that make sense? When you can change your focus, then she will come in because she will match that vibration of faith, of love, of secureness, of clarity. Do you understand? And that might take a couple of days. So do you remember in the beginning when I was saying that people have trouble with this, sometimes taking the responsibility in their own life and saying, because when you give them the steering wheel, then they're like, well, I didn't instantly drive myself to Happy Town. Well, sometimes you've driven so far into the middle of the darkness that it's going to take some time to get back out. So spend some time baking in the gratitude of that person coming. Do your checklist of everything they need. Have you written down everything you need for a caregiver?
Yeah.
Write that down on a piece of paper, give it to God, put it under a candle, burn it, whatever, and give it to God and be excited that it's just a matter of time. Kind of like the same way as when you book a vacation. You don't go home all depressed because you're not there yet. You go home excited because you know it's just a matter of time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So there's a girl who just started yesterday. She's not going to work out. I was hoping that she was.
She might. I don't know. Your loved ones are saying they sent somebody that will be like a sister to you. So it could be her. But I think you need to take responsibility for your attitude right now. And when you do that, then you increase your chances of things working out with her. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey.
I know. I wish it was easier too. But I promise you, it feels not so easy in the beginning when you're not practiced at it. But once you start getting practiced at it, then you just do things like, I don't care if they tell me I have to book an appointment. I'm not booking an appointment. I got God on my side. I'll go there and they'll get me an appointment when I need an appointment, and I just do it and bam, there we go. You get that confident where you can control the factors of your own life. This is a very extraordinary opportunity for you to fine tune those skills to control your emotional structure no matter what is going on in your world. Because if you can stay stable here, then those little ripples of chaos that go on, because with you it's kind of like you get a ripple of chaos and then it goes back, and then a wave, or I should say a wave of chaos and then it goes back, and then a wave of chaos and then it goes back, right? And they're getting less and less in between because you're getting better and better at this. But you were just taken from an old situation and brought into a brand new location, brand new situation, other side of the world. So it just kind of knocked your alignment out a little bit. Just get yourself aligned, do your conscious work when you go to bed, picture what you want in your world when you get up, spend 5 minutes visualizing how you want your day to go, and give thanks every single day. Even if you have to sit down and write 10 things every single day that you are extraordinarily grateful for, it will change your perspective. And your perspective being changed will change your choices and decisions that you make. And when you make better choices and decisions, then you go to the road of happy and not to the road of insecure or unstable. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a better position than you think. Deep breaths, blow it out, and get excited and watch what's going to happen, because I just see you pinching it off a little bit. It's kind of like a balloon that I feel like it's not tied at the end. Someone's just pinching it. And if you can just let go a little bit, it's going to go everywhere.
Okay.
I hope that was helpful.
Thanks. I'll talk to you next month.
All right. I think I'm running out of time. Hello,
You
guys.
look great. Bye.
Oh, thank you, hon. Okay, so I have Amanda and Wanda. I know I read for you right before I left. Marie as well. But who's Mel? Sweetie, have I read for you before? Are you a new member?
No, you read for me before.
Have I? Not for a while, hey?
Not for a while, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to come to you first, if that's okay. Because, well, we'll leave because, but I'm coming to you. Are you okay with that?
Yep, that's fine.
So let's do this grounding exercise if you can. Both feet flat on the floor. I want you to close your eyes, and then I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling them all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Okay, so Mel, there is, okay, here we go. You've heard my term, the puzzle dump, before, correct?
Yes.
Okay, basically that's where spirit just floods me with a bunch of information. I call it the puzzle dump because it's like dumping out a bunch of pieces of the puzzle. You have to kind of organize them to figure out how they go together. Right away, I feel a mother figure presence, very, very strong. She goes above. I feel like she was kind of an older lady. She shows me the body scan, which is my symbol for more than one issue in the body or pain throughout the body, and that she's free on that side. She has free mobility. Do you understand? Is this your mom, hun?
No, my mom's still alive.
Okay, it could be then the grandmother because all I know is it's a mother figure, and they will
Yeah.
show up with the details that will help you differentiate who they could be. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this lady lived a long time because she feels quite old. And she would have had some pain or multiple things going on in her body before she passed. And I do
Okay.
feel like this went on for some time, but then it was very quick at the end.
Okay.
I
My
also
dad-
see distance or space, so I think she's been there for some time.
Yes. Okay.
Is this mom's mom? Because I still hear mom, 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 mom.
Mom. Most likely, yes. Like both my parents are, their parents have passed, obviously.
So I'm seeing white feathers everywhere, Mel. White feathers is usually my symbol for a connection with the native culture. Sometimes it can be that they're sending you feathers and things like that, but I do hear drums as well. Do you have a tie with the native culture?
Yes.
Okay, that would make sense. Slow this down. And then I just keep hearing baby steps. We're taking baby steps. The grandmother figure is saying she's got the younger people with him or with her. There is a young gentleman that's stepping forward, showing me that he passed before we think of as his time. He's got white lighters all around him. So white lighters are beings on the other side that are pure white light. Their job is to help souls heal. So typically they will surround somebody who either takes responsibility for their passing, committed suicide, or whose passing was sudden, unexpected, or traumatic in such a way that there is a lot of healing needed for the soul that passed or the people that are left behind. Do you understand who that could be? Definitely related to you, but he feels younger than you as well. Do you have like a nephew or a son or a cousin,
Yeah.
somebody underneath of you that passed?
Like tragically or just by health?
Either way, it's tragic because he's so young, right? I feel the tragedy around it. All I know is he's underneath of you, and it was tragic because he shouldn't have passed. That was too young.
Yeah, that's my nephew then. Most
He's so
probably.
proud of you, and that's interesting when you say that's my nephew, and he goes, "That's my mom." Like I feel like he's coming through like as like you were a mother figure to him. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's so nice.
He's thanking you for helping. Did he have kids here still, hun?
Did he have kids?
That are still here.
No, maybe I'm not talking about the same person then.
Well, it could be
If
somebody
he-
else that's coming through as well, because it's really strong and they tend to piggyback on similar energies, right? But somebody is
Yeah.
definitely thanking for watching over the younger people.
Okay.
The father figure. I think we're somebody else as well. I don't think it's the nephew. There's somebody else coming forward that is saying, thank you for watching over my kids
Huh.
who passed before we would think of as his time.
I have brothers.
That have passed,
Yeah,
that
but
you
not recently.
it doesn't have to be recently. That they'll come
Oh,
and talk to me. They could be dead for 40 years. They don't care. But what they're
okay.
saying is thank you for kind of being there for my kids since I've passed.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
And they'd want you to know that they're really proud of you because I feel like you've been trying to learn and develop your own abilities here. Do you understand what he's talking about, your brother?
Develop my own abilities.
Like your own spiritual understanding and gifts. I feel like
Oh,
we're trying to
yeah.
develop this
Yeah.
right now.
Yes.
He's talking about being very proud of you for that. And because as you heal yourself, you heal everyone around you. And so he's very invested. I feel like you have more than one brother there, though. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I want to
That's-
say, every time I'm saying he, I feel like I need to say they. Is there 3 there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so they're all together. And they just want
Siblings,
you to
yeah.
know that you're not alone in this, and that it seems like the big theme of this today has been for Spirit to let you guys know that we are not alone, and to ask for what we need and let them come in and help us. Because when they come in and help us, we feel their presence. And I feel like you have a bit of a gift that you have stuffed down for a while. You're a lot more intuitive, maybe, than you give yourself credit for, or than maybe you wanted to be when you were younger. And I feel like now you're finally letting it out and learning to understand it more. And they're very, very, very proud of you for that, because I feel like we have a lot of family healing needed at this time. And it starts with spirituality. You understand that?
Yes.
Aw, they love you so much. They just kissed your cheek. And somebody
Aw.
said, we need flowers in here. Did you just get flowers in your kitchen? Are you in your kitchen?
Yeah, well, I live in a bachelor and then I'm gonna be moving to a bigger space.
Aw. Well,
Yeah.
if somebody comes in and gives you some flowers when you move, know that that is from your brothers.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay, thanks.
And make sure you ask them for help with that move, because they're just on that side showing me how big and strong they are.
Okay.
I'm going to let them pull their energy back. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right. So, Amanda, I have to tell you, I have tried to come to you a couple of times, but the lady that's behind you keeps saying, no, next week. No, next week, next week, next week. And I'm like, why next week? And I'm not sure exactly why next week, but I feel like something is going on in your world this week that we have to let develop so that she can say something next week. Your mute button is on, but
Hi.
okay. Is something going on this week, hun?
Yeah, a little bit. We've been pretty busy this week.
Well, I'm going to, this is your grandmother, I think, that's on the other side, right? It's not a mother figure, it's above you.
Yeah, grandma.
Or it's not a mom, but it is a mother figure. And you have kids, don't you? 2 kids.
Yes.
Because she's talking about the kids and the activities, and she's like, next week, next week, next week. She's so insistent. So I think she's wanting you to know that she's a part of something. I don't know if this is a birthday party or a barbecue or something like this that is going on, but she wants you to know she's a part of it. And when it's all said and done by next weekend, are you not able to come in on a Tuesday?
I don't, I'm not sure. I haven't made any plans yet. I usually just kind of go day by day.
I just know she said, we'll see you next weekend. And I'm like, why next weekend? Like, interesting. I don't know, but I do know our time is over, and she's saying that, so I'm going to let that go for now. But come back on here either Tuesday or Saturday, and I'm going to read you first, because now I'm curious.
Okay. I'm excited.
All right. And Marie, same thing. We're out of time for today, but I will see you guys all back here again on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Good to be back.
we'll see you next week, Tracy.
Yay, thank you guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Weekend.
You too. Bye.